Hey everyone, welcome to another MLM dumpster fire. Today we're back for another top MLM fails, and in this video we have a little bit of a mixture. We have some Sensi reps, a few posts from them. Then we have a Savvi video where this rep is going to introduce us to a product that Savvi has put out recently. Apparently they're no longer an activewear MLM. They do supplements now and apparently beauty. We're going to dig into that a little bit deeper. And then we have a Monate rep who's going to inspire us to keep hustling. So buckle up, get ready. I just recorded this video, so I've seen everything. I recorded it and then I realized that there was some weird flickering in the background, which would probably trigger some people. So I decided to re-record it. So I've seen everything. I'm not blind reacting like I usually do. So just a heads up for that. And before we get into it, don't forget to click the like and subscribe button if you would like to support my channel. And as always, big shout out to all my channel members. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. And let's just get into it. So I'm just gonna read this post first. This is from a Savvi rep as well. She says, how it feels watching you share your favorite outfits on Instagram and making zero money for it. So to me, this is misleading because I think she's a Savvi rep, and when you are in Savvi, you're not actually getting paid to share. You're getting paid when someone buys something, when someone joins your team, but you're not getting paid just to share the clothes. So this sounds misleading to me personally, but whatever. Anyway, the majority of people that join Savvi and all other MLMs are not making any profit anyway, so this post makes no sense to me. Next one's from the Sensi rep, and she shared the post from No Shame Sales Game, which says, I'd rather be judged than live paycheck to paycheck, which I just absolutely love when they shame people who live paycheck to paycheck. That's just so distasteful in my opinion, but who am I to say? So she said, when I joined Sensi almost 12 years ago, I had no clue what I was doing. I was fairly new Sensi addict and all I wanted was a discount for my new addiction. Smiley face. A laughing emoji. Now, the fact that she used addiction and addict here and added so many laughing emojis makes me uncomfortable because I believe that no addiction is funny. No form, absolutely no form of addiction is funny. Shopping addiction, alcoholism, nothing is funny about being addict. I've struggled with addiction to shopping. I've struggled with alcohol when I was in college. I have had family members that have struggled with alcoholism in the past as well, and just casually using those words and just laughing about them. But anyway, maybe that's just me being sensitive. But surely after I joined, I noticed that my Sensi monthly income was covering for my car payment each month, which was a huge financial relief. This is one that I find dodgy because she made it sound like she joined and she was earning a shit ton of money where she could pay off her car payments every month, but she didn't even realize that she didn't even notice how much money she's making from Sensi. It was so effortless. I call Bies on that one. Let me know down below what you think about that. You guys will laugh at this, but when my first recruit joined, I was so upset, lol, and even told her to go under someone else. Obviously she couldn't, but by her joining and bringing others to the team, I started to notice that Sensi is something I was missing, right? So she recruited the first person and then the person started recruiting others, and this woman started getting money from the new recruits, and that's when she realized that this is hey, I can earn money with recruitment, right? Interesting, love that. Quiet parts out loud. Shortly after I joined, as most people know, I went through a bad divorce and almost quit Sensi, but for whatever reason I didn't, and I'm so glad I didn't, because boy, I would be kicking myself in the butt today. So as you can see, I didn't join because of the money. I joined because I love the products. I had so much going on in 2011 and those following years, but I stick around for a bigger why. Friendships, the value home office gives me as an individual and consultant, travel freedom, work my own hours, I'm financially stable, and most importantly, the things I'm able to do with my family because I'm my own boss. So if you have been on the fence of being part of the Sensi family, come join us. It could be a life-changing experience for you just like it's been for me. So many things wrong with this paragraph here. She said she's her own boss. First of all, when you join an MLM, Sensi including, you're not your own boss. It's not your own business. You have an upline that's kind of your leader and your boss. You can be terminated. It doesn't pay the majority of people that join either. It's very much commission based, so the majority of people don't even make any profit in MLMs. If you want this kind of freedom, you can just find a remote 9-to-5 job. I have one. I can work from anywhere. I have worked in hotels and buses. As long as I I can hotspot or have Wi-Fi, I can work from anywhere. It gives you the freedom, remote work. Obviously, when you don't have to commute to your work, you have a lot of more free time. And for me, it's been a game changer as well. That's why I have time to do YouTube and video editing on the side. But like I said, if you want all of that, MLMs are not a solution. There's so many other things that you can do online, start different kinds of businesses that don't cost that much, but are gonna pay you regularly, which doesn't happen in Sensi or, like I said, any other MLM out there. Now let's get into the Savvi rep. And when she talked, I had a feeling that her previous MLM was Elomir. Just the way she talked and the way she introduced this product, it gave me Elomir vibes. So you let me know down below what company do you think she was in, or if you know her face, let me know down below what was her previous company, because she mentions it a little bit, but she doesn't say the name. So, but I think it's Elomir. You'll see. She sounds like an Elomir hun.
Hi! Okay, so this is take two because I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb and my phone rang and then my connection got all messed up, but hey, hi! So when you join, say hey. I'd love you to double tap your screen. Hey Corey, again. Thanks for coming back. Okay, so I'm gonna start over. So if you've heard this the first time, sorry, just tune back in later. So I wanted to tell you guys today is such an exciting day for Savvi. We are launching our new wellness product that is amazing. Like truly, it's amazing. So you might be thinking, but you sell leggings. Savvi's a leggings brand. And yes, we are. We have amazing leggings, but we are a lifestyle brand and we have been from the beginning. We just started with apparel and we got really good at that. And we actually just launched a couple men's items last week. And then now we are launching our wellness part of our brand. So we are wellness, apparel, wellness, and beauty is Savvi. So stay tuned for more. But this is the first
Hint. They do have beauty products as well. We're gonna take a look at that in a bit. But I love how they're backpedaling on this now, because I have watched my fair share of Savvi videos and Savvi opportunity calls on this channel. I swear the Savvi people always used to say, we're the only activewear MLM out there, pretending that Zaya doesn't exist. But they were always being like, not all of them, but a lot of them would be like, well, who needs beauty products and supplements? Everyone does that. We're different because we do activewear and activewear only. And now they're backpedaling on that, being like, well, we were always a lifestyle MLM. We were never just activewear. Oof. Love that.
in our wellness brand. So we have a new line called Savvi Sips, and this product is called Shine. It's so good. So I will tell you, I was skeptical about this. I wasn't sure. I left another company to come to Savvi. That was an ingredient-based company, a very specific ingredient that required a lot of education and just trust in people doing what they're supposed to do. And it was just too much for me. I have kids and animals and a husband and at least 3 other jobs, sometimes more, it depends on the day. But I didn't have time for that. So I was really drawn to Savvi because of the simplicity of the product. Everybody wears clothes. Like, it's a no-brainer. I was in Starbucks a couple days ago and a woman came up and was like, I love your sweater, where'd you get it? And I gave her my link and she bought it. Like, it's so simple. So I was skeptical of this because I don't want to do a bunch of education and ingredient learning, but the only thing you need to know about this truly is that it will make you feel amazing. This is amazing. It's so good. So I will just tell you a little bit about how I drink this. So in the mornings, I'm a coffee lover. I am not using this as a coffee replacement, but I am able to cut back on my coffee consumption with this product, which is great because I don't need all that caffeine and I don't want it all. But so in the morning, what I've been doing is doing a half a cup of coffee, whereas before I was doing 2 cups every morning. So a half a cup of coffee, I put my sip in there. This is the lavender cacao flavor. FYI, the lavender is super subtle. Like, I barely, maybe don't even taste it at all. Much more of the
lavender and cacao, it seems like such a horrible combination.
The cacao comes through in this for me. But so I put my sip in my coffee and then I fill the rest of the mug up with almond milk, take my little frother, mix it up, and it's delicious. It's like a mocha latte in the morning. So that's typically what I do. This morning what I did, because I woke up feeling a little sleepy this morning, and I know I actually have a sip and see tonight that we are hosting at 7, so I know that I'm going to be up later than normal, and I knew I would probably want a sip in the afternoon to kind of help me get me through that. So what I did this morning is I just put a half of one of these in my coffee, and it woke me up right away. I went and taught 2 Pure Barre classes. I went to a couple houses. I've got some renovations starting. Went and check on those. And then I came back home and I'm going to have another one right now. So we have 2 flavors. We've got matcha green tea and we've got lavender cacao. I really like both of them. I am not normally a matcha person. Like, I would never order this at Starbucks. I've tried it before. It's just not my thing. I'd rather have coffee. However, this one's really good. It's different. It's lighter in flavor. And so it's less matcha, like less overpowering matcha. It has a little vanilla hint to it, which I also really like. So I'm going to drink this. We actually have one of these Nespresso guys, which this is awesome. If you don't have one, highly recommend.
Let's get into the pricing, okay? I just checked. So she's got one lavender cacao and matcha green tea, and each of them costs $46. $46. Do you want to guess how many servings? Each of them gives you 12 servings. You're paying $46 for 12 servings, and if you're taking this multiple times a day, that's not even gonna last you half a month. Like, it's gonna last you 6 days. I've also seen their cream. They have a little antioxidant mask. It's tiny and it costs $58, which I can't believe it. And then I saw the collagen thing, it's called Glow. It's a powder. It has 28 servings and you're gonna pay $89 for 28 servings. That's just one supplement is gonna cost you $89 a month. I can't imagine, like, even if I wanted to, I could not afford these products. They're ridiculously expensive. I take multivitamins, I take pre-workout gummies, and I take protein powder, and all of that yearly costs me like less than €300, which is close to $300 as well in a whole year. Who can afford that? That's my question.
So I just put almond milk in this, and I'm gonna put this sip in there, mix it up and do its thing. So you can drink these with milk or water, whatever you like. You can even put them in like a smoothie if you want to. So the way that this makes me feel is so good, and I love that it's instant impact. So I feel good in about 5 minutes, maybe 10, but at least within 10 minutes, I notice a difference. And you know how coffee can make you feel like wired? So that is not how I feel with this. It gives me energy. I feel like awake and super clear-minded. So like I mentioned, I got a lot going on in this brain, right? Everything like floats up here and I like reach up all day and pull stuff down to think about, where this has helped me like kind of be able to more like compartmentalize everything and like really focus on one thing at a time. I just, like I said, I just feel really clear. It's almost weird in a good, really good way.
This is the part where I started thinking that her previous MLM was Elomir, because everything sounds like Elomir pitches that we watched in the past.
But it's like, it's kind of hard to explain. And then this gives me long-lasting energy all day long. So I have this, I'm an early riser. I have coffee in my body by 6 a.m. every day. And I can drink this at 6 a.m. and I am good until bedtime. Like, totally fine. I don't need the 2 o'clock, the 3 o'clock, pick me up that I used to need pretty much every day.
So she doesn't need the afternoon pickup when she just said that she's gonna have another one of those, and she had half a cup of coffee in the morning, but she doesn't need the afternoon pickup, but she's literally gonna take it. So which one is it? This is better than coffee. It keeps you up all day, gives you enough energy throughout the whole day, but alongside of that, she's still drinking coffee and she's taking an afternoon pickup. Yeah, got it.
So I've been able to cut that out, which is huge. I love that. I've also noticed that if I drink one, like I'm about to right now, and it's 2:30, I won't have a hard time falling asleep tonight like I do when I drink coffee. So there's 65 milligrams of caffeine in here, which is less than a cup of coffee. So it does not affect my sleep the way that coffee does, which I love. This is also anti-aging. There's collagen in here. So did you know that women need between 5 and 10 grams of collagen? This has 9. So you're good. You can get rid of that other supplement that you're paying for and just get it all in one drink.
Yeah, get rid of your probably more affordable and probably better collagen that you're taking.
Along with the mood boosting, the focus, and the energy enhancements that come with sips. So I highly, highly, highly recommend this for everybody. If you're a mom, who doesn't need everything I just said if you're a mom, right? Or if you're a dad, or if you're a business owner. I own a real estate firm in addition to this business and some other stuff. And this has really truly like helped me. This has brought so much ease to my day, just because of the mood and the energy. I'll tell you a funny story. The first time my husband tried this, we were in separate vehicles and he tried it, and then we were driving home. So I was in front of him and he was in his truck behind me, and he texted me and he said, babe, I feel like giddy. I was like, what did you just say? He's like, I feel like giddy, like really happy. I was like, wow, if you've ever met my husband, love you, babe, but giddy is not a way I would describe him. So he loves it too. I feel the same way. I just feel really happy. I voice texted a friend of mine, another brand partner on my team, after I had one for the first time, and she was like, you sound different. Like, it's just, it makes you happy. Who doesn't want that, right? So anyway, I love these, and you will love this. You will love how this makes you feel. I've gotten a ton of really positive reviews, really great feedback on the flavors. And I'll just tell you quickly, there's ways that you can shop with Savvi that will save you money on these. If you're interested in trying them, let me know. I'll briefly tell you about them right now, but feel free to shoot me a message and I can explain more. But basically, there's 4 ways to shop with Savvi. So the first one is you can be a brand partner, which is what I am. So you earn commission, bonuses, travel, gifts, all the things by selling really cute clothes and an amazing product. So
most of the people that join Savvi never make any profit, let alone free trips and whatnot. I find this misleading because, like I said in the beginning, you're not earning money just by sharing Savvi clothes. That's not how that works. And also, the majority of people don't earn any kind of profit. So there's that.
I recommend that. Why would you not? You wear clothes already anyway, right? You might as well share them and get paid. And then the wellness, in addition to brand partner, you can do retail, go to the website and pay retail. Cool. You can be a wholesale customer, which gets you 15% off of all your purchases for a year. It's kind of like having an Amazon Prime membership or a Costco membership. You pay $29 fee for a year for 15% off every order. And then we also have a loyalty membership, which is by far the best way to go about this. So that will get you, that unlocks 25% off. That gets you free credits on your account. That gets you free shipping. There's all kinds of stuff. So if you're interested in that, let me know. But that would be a subscription and a really great way. You can choose what you want your subscriptions to be. So you can choose which flavor, you can choose how many, you can choose product credits in addition to or instead of these. So lots of options there. But I'm super excited about sips. This is what they look like. I know it's backwards to you, but Savvi Shine is amazing. Like truly, it makes me feel so freaking good, and I want you all to experience that too. So let me know if you have any questions. If you're interested in ordering this, there is a link in my bio, or I can send it directly to you. But yeah, have a good day. Bye.
Yeah, I definitely think this lady used to be an Elomir hun. Let me know down below what you think. This is just ridiculous. Like the pricing of those products for the amount of servings that you get, it's a joke, honestly. Like who can afford that? Let's watch the Monate lady who is going to inspire us and shit on the anti-hustle culture as well.
Hello. Okay, I wanted to go live because I want to talk to you specifically if you are someone who has big goals in your life. I had some conversations today that inspired me to do the reel that I just did. I just posted a reel around learn to master the hustle. Don't let it master you. And I talked about learning how to rest and not quit. And I want to talk about this. And so this is for you if you feel like in your life, you have big goals, big dreams, big things that you want to make happen, but for some reason you feel stuck or you feel like things just aren't taking place like how you imagine them to be, or like there's not a lot of momentum happening. So here's my experience. And so take it for what it is, and hopefully it helps you. So what I know to be true is that when you declare to yourself, and by the way, there is psychology that says not to actually tell people about your big goals, because psychology says, and there's a book called Atomic Habits. It's by James Clear. I will never get tired of talking about that book, but he talks literally about how our our brains literally will create like a dopamine response when we tell somebody about our goals, even if it hasn't happened yet. we feel like it has, because there's an element of like, when you talk about your goals and maybe someone like acknowledges it, or somebody's like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Like, that's so cool. Hey, you guys. Okay, I'm seeing comments popping up. Sometimes my comments don't show up. Thanks for popping in. If anyone has a question too, there's a question box. You're more than welcome to ask a question. But I don't have too much battery on my phone, so this is going to be a short live. But I know this to be true, that if you actually tell people your goals, your brain will register. It's almost like your brain thinks that you've hit the goal when you actually haven't. And that is...
Okay, so my big goal is to go freelance and become a full-time video editor. And I've been telling this goal to all the people, but I don't feel in my brain that I've already achieved that goal. So I'm not sure if that's true what she said. Even if it is, it's definitely not universal. Because like I said, I tell everyone what my big goal is. I definitely do not feel like I've already achieved it, because I didn't.
Something that like will actually hinder you from actually hitting the goal, okay? So I'm like, y'all, we better be mindful of who you tell your goals to, and what really like what you're... I just turned that filter off. That filter was like flickering. I didn't even know that filter just automatically comes up. Okay, cool. We're just going to exit that and turn the filters off. So I want to say this to anybody who feels that they have a big goal, but they're like stuck. Okay. So first thing, oftentimes when we say we have this big goal, the thing that is going to stop us every single time is our own mindset, for a few reasons. Number one, you may be afraid of going all out for something, like pushing hard, like running hard, because what if I lose, or what if I fail? Failure is subjective, but we all have our own level of fear around going for something and failure, right? So maybe it's what other people think of you, or maybe it's like, what if I burn out? I talk to so many people about the idea of like hustle culture and how it's so toxic. And I get what you're saying for sure. But we also have to understand that like, I always say farmers don't talk about burnout. Farmers don't talk about hustle culture. Athletes don't talk about hustle culture. They just do the work and they make things happen, right? So I think it's like oftentimes in this entrepreneur space or in the online creator space where people are like toxic hustle culture, and I get it, but this is where your own personal awareness comes in, and where you have to be in tune with yourself, right? Like, and you have to know that sometimes it's going to feel most of the time, getting to a new level of yourself is so hard. It feels hard. So oftentimes we stop ourselves because of the fear of failure, number one. Number two, we self-sabotage because of, we think this is very, very normal. We think that in order to gain something, we are going to lose something. And here's the truth. You will. In order to have what you want to have in your life, it's going to come at the cost of something. It might come at the cost of laziness, procrastination, comfort, fill in the blank. It's different for everybody. So, but we let that stop us because we think what we have now is better than what we could have, or we have a little bit of fear of unknown. Another thing I hear from so many people, and the hustle culture stuff, Georgina said, is an easy excuse to do nothing. And it's so true. It's so, so true. And I think the other thing...
There is a big difference between hustling all the time and being against people getting burnt out, and hustling constantly in something that gives them nothing in return, which is any MLM business, including Monate. And there's a big difference with like being, okay, well, you can hustle, but you also need to rest because it's important for your physical and mental health. As someone who works 4 jobs, this lady right here, I know the importance of that.
When it comes to having big goals, and I think this is one of the biggest things, and wanting to do something different, is the fear of being seen. Is the fear of like people seeing you go for something. I am definitely in a season right now where I have so many big goals, y'all. I have such a new why. My husband and I, we just bought property a few years ago here in Tennessee. We want to build our home. We want to build our home for our babies. We want to be able to have we bought 12 acres, but I want to build this home debt free. I want to build it without having to take a ton of loans out. I'm hustling my booty off to make that happen, but it's like such a short amount of time. And that's the thing too, is I think people stop themselves because they think like this is forever. The truth is like the hustle, if you learn to master the hustle towards getting to your goals, if you learn to master it, that hustle is like in spurts. You can't like do that all the time, you know, but you work in seasons. There's some seasons for growth and momentum. And there's other seasons where you're stabilizing and you're just like, okay, like, all right, I got here, like, cool. Like, let me take a breath, you know, like, all right, here I go again, right? Like that's like even the analogy of if you were to like summit a mountain, which I've never done. I've gone hiking, but I've never like summited a legit mountain. But I'm imagining, you know, you take breaks on the way up, you know, you go for a few hours and you stop, you break for lunch, you hydrate, you make sure your shoes are good, and then you go again. And that's the thing that I want to encourage you if you're on this live with me and you're watching and you're like, I want something to change for my life, or I have a big goal and I want to see it like come to pass. You're going to have to hustle a little bit. You're going to have to like, thanks, Sandy. That's so sweet. You're going to have to hustle a little bit. You're going to have to like strap in, you know, put your boots on, like pull your big girl panties on and just go and not stop and not be afraid of the unknown and all. 8% battery. So I'm going to see if there's, y'all, if you're asking me questions for some reason, Instagram is not letting me see them. So just drop the questions in the comments because I see the little notification said someone asked me a question. For some reason, Instagram hasn't been showing me it lately, and it's driving me crazy. So if you have a question, you can just drop it in the comments and I can see it. But for some reason, it's not working. But yeah, I don't know. I felt super inspired to share this. You know, I have one of my girls who's going for goals right now. She's so hungry. She's so motivated. She wants some crazy life transformations to happen. And when I say crazy, I'm not saying like bad crazy. I'm saying like good crazy. And she's like, I'm scared. You know, like she's scared to go for it. And we all can feel that, but don't take, like, fear is not always a bad thing. I read this book from Elizabeth Gilbert. It's called Big Magic. And she talks about fear. And she talks about how fear is always in the car with you. Wherever you're driving in your life, right? We're all just driving our own car. Fear is always in the car. Whether you let the car, or you let fear drive the car, you let fear be in the passenger seat, or if you put...
That's all fine, but let's just remember that she's a Monet hun, and she's talking about a business where the majority of people never make any profit. It doesn't matter if they're afraid or not afraid. It doesn't matter how much they work. Doesn't matter how long they work on the business. They have 99% of chances of never making any profit.
Fear in the back seat. Hopefully it's the latter, right? Like we're like, okay, bye. Like you can be here, but you're not going to run my life. And that's the thing you have to understand is when you say to yourself, I'm going to go for this thing, I'm going to make this happen. You know, don't tell the whole world what your goals are. Don't tell everybody what you're doing. It creates that dopamine response that actually signals to your brain that you've already done it. You want to feel that hunger. You want to feel that insatiable, like, I got to make this happen. Okay. So use that to your advantage. Number one. But number two is like, know that fear is going to be there. You're going to feel freaked out. There's some nights where I'm like, I feel like my goals are so big that I lay in bed and I'm like, okay, like I got this. Like, all right, I'm doing it. I'm not immune to it either. You know, I've accomplished a lot of things in my life, but still I'm like, all right, I'm still learning. And I still feel like I'm honestly just at the beginning. So hopefully this encourages someone today to let fear be in the car. It's cool. Doesn't mean that fear has to drive the car. And allow yourself to go for those big goals without self-sabotaging or without letting other people convince you that it's supposed to feel good all the time. I'm like right now working with a trainer. I've been working with my personal trainer for a while. We actually started working together when I was pregnant. And so as most mamas know, postpartum is rough. Y'all, I would rather be postpartum, or I would be pregnant over experiencing postpartum like any day of my life. Like, oh my gosh. You're welcome, Melinda. Hey, Wonder Woman. I would rather be freaking pregnant than over postpartum. Postpartum was hard. It was rough on my body. And like, I gained so much inflammation. I'm like gained weight that I just like trying to shed off because I just feel better when I'm a little leaner. And going into the gym and going in there to work out, do you think that every single time it feels easy? Do you think it feels good every day? Do you feel like it's like, you know, do you think that it's like, oh, like there's days where I'm like, oh, I don't want to do it. I just want to stay.
I'm shaking my head not because the gym sometimes doesn't feel as great, which is true. It doesn't feel great on all days. Depends on how much sleep, how you're feeling, how's your motivation. If you're the most disciplined person, you're still gonna have good days and bad days and meh. I'm shaking my head because how can you compare going to a gym and doing something that's healthy for you and your body to an MLM where you're hustling and working for free in a business model that's flawed in my opinion, and where you have very little chances of making any profit? How are we comparing those two? I don't understand. They have nothing to do with each other.
In bed, but I got goals, right? And I want to keep the promises that I make to myself. And that's my last tip, is if you want to create more confidence. Nurse Allie Marie, thank you so much for this. I have big goals in my Monate business. I want to be home with my 6-month-old. Girl, you can do this. If there's anything that I know, as mamas can do anything. Mamas, you guys are so freaking powerful. We are so powerful. If you've had a baby, carried a baby, or even just raised a baby, you got this. So I love y'all. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for hanging out with me. Just a quick little short live. I hope it inspired you today. So get out there, go after your goals, make them happen, and don't stop yourself. Bye.
Well, I never had a baby, I was never pregnant, and I've definitely never raised a baby, so I guess my value is not the same in this woman's eyes. Wow. Never have I ever been I have been discriminated for not having babies, and I'm 30 years old, imagine that. Sorry, I come from a country where people have children very young, so if you don't go by the rules of that part, you're a weirdo, so yeah. Good timing for my laundry. I'm gonna wrap this one up here. I'm gonna try to keep my top MLM fails videos a little bit shorter. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. You're a trooper. I appreciate you, and don't forget to click the like and subscribe button if you'd like to support my channel in a nice free way. And as always, big shout out to all my channel members. Thank you guys for being here and for all your support. It means the world to me, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.